Bipolar disorder is a serious, often misunderstood mental illness that causes dramatic shifts in mood, energy, and activity levels. I have bipolar disorder, and there are things I would like you to know. Being moody or indecisive isn't bipolar. Bipolar disorder is a serious mental illness that affects approximately 2.6 of Americans above the age of 17. The average age of onset is 25 years of age, but can start in childhood or as late as the age of 50. Bipolar disorder includes manic and depressive episodes, but there can also be hypomanic and mixed episodes. A manic episode might include extreme overconfidence and happiness, and sometimes irritability or anger. Someone in a manic state may have racing thoughts, talk faster than normal, not sleep, or behave in impulsive, risky, or dangerous ways. A depressive episode can include feelings of sadness, loneliness, and low self-esteem. Someone in a depressive state may lose interest in things they typically enjoy, have difficulty concentrating, sleep less or more, or have suicidal thoughts. There are 4 different types of bipolar disorder. There is bipolar 1, bipolar 2, cyclothymia, and rapid cycling bipolar. People diagnosed with bipolar disorder are not ticking time bombs, and we probably don't fit the stereotype you have in mind. We may be your classmate, sibling, or friend. Bipolar disorder is not always recognizable in day-to-day life. In the moment, a manic episode might feel like a super productive high and cause us to feel unstoppable. Mania feels like success, like I'm finally doing everything right and nothing can go wrong. But mania can also be scary and unpredictable. Mania isn't fun or simply being hyper and happy. At times, I will feel productive, extroverted, chatty, and creative, but it can spiral out of control quickly, causing me to become irritable, angry, and paranoid. I spend too much money, drive recklessly, act out, I don't sleep. In extreme cases, I become obsessive, see hallucinations. It can be exhausting. Depressive episodes are similar to major depression, and they can happen again and again and again. The depression is inevitable, and when it happens, it feels like it's the worst it has ever been every single time. When you're manic, it's hard to even remember you could possibly have been depressed before because you feel so good in that moment. And when you're depressed, it's impossible to believe you've ever experienced happiness in your life. And mixed episodes aren't just erratic mood swings. It's feeling several emotions all at once. Sometimes we wonder if a random feeling is actually the start of an episode. I begin to question every emotion and fear that is the beginning of one. I worry that any sign of happiness is the beginning of a manic episode. It becomes a battle to determine what is real and what is bipolar. You begin to lose who you are. Episodes can last for days or weeks or months, and they change in an instant. There is a misconception that you go through several emotions in a single day. But there are weeks of productivity, and then there are weeks where I tell myself I'll never amount to anything. You won't necessarily know someone has bipolar disorder until they tell you. On the outside, many of us are functional, mature adults. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. When someone does tell you about their diagnosis, just listen and be there for them. Many people keep their illness private for fear of judgment or punishment from their friends and coworkers. But treatment for bipolar disorder is not a one-size-fits-all. There are many medications and therapies that help treat bipolar, but every individual is different. Even one person's treatment can vary time to time. Every individual needs a tailored treatment plan and high level of support. Some people may turn to drugs and alcohol to self-medicate, which makes things worse in the long run. Making an effort to understand this disorder is one way you can be there for someone you love who has bipolar disorder. It's frustrating when loved ones don't take the time to read up on bipolar disorder. I've heard "what do you have to be depressed about?" or "you don't seem crazy" about 1,000 times from even my closest family and friends. Patience and understanding are deeply appreciated. Even though there are periods of times where we seem cruel and selfish and irritable, or reclusive and negative, we do still care about you and your feelings, too. And we appreciate the people who stick by us and try to understand during these episodes. Many of us are learning as we go, and we're thankful that you're there with us. Bipolar disorder, like any other serious illness, does not define you. Bipolar disorder is a treatable illness, and it is absolutely possible to lead a fulfilling, productive life with bipolar disorder. To people like me out there with bipolar disorder, remember, it isn't who you are. Bipolar disorder is a chemical imbalance in the brain that we were born with. Despite popular belief, bipolar patients can have a normal life. So please, do not be so quick to judge someone with bipolar disorder. Remember, there's always hope.